check 1, 2. Man, oh man. Guys, I'm late. Well, I'm kind of late. We always start these at 3, sometimes at 4. And I plan on starting at 2 today. And I told you guys 2. But I forgot. Because it's a workshop. It's 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. 3 a freaking clock. So I get everything ready to go live at 3. And then I see my old pinned comment on Facebook said, chess workshop Saturday at 2, and I'm like, oh my god, this is why we can't have nice things, because I can't. If I make a change, you know, it's like thinking you're going to remember your password, your new password. Oh, it's easy, I'll remember this. You don't remember it? If I make a change, I got to make a post-it note. But we're here now. So I was going to go live at 3, like the thumbnail said and everything said, but I'm like, no, you got to go live ASAP. People are like, you said 2 o'clock. Someone could be, some of you guys just show up when we have a workshop. Some of you are like looking forward to it. And when I say 2 o'clock, you're like, oh, 2 o'clock. So forgive me if I freaking wasted your time and you were sitting here at 2. I'm so sorry. To my supporters, to my members, and my subs on Twitch, those are like, you guys are like the most important part of the community. Forgive and forget. Forgive and forget, folks. We got what? We got one person on Twitch. We got, this is a smaller stream, guys. No one's on YouTube. It's funny, Twitch. Suey, how you doing, brother? Suey's on Facebook. Suey, you got a game you want to look at, brother? It's good to see you, by the way, man. I don't see you every day anymore. Or maybe you show up, but you don't comment as much. But I don't get to see your name. Dude, who did I see the other day? I haven't seen him forever, man. He said he was busy with work and stuff, and he stopped playing chess, but he started coming back to chess. That wasn't you. I don't think. But, yeah, man. Welcome to the workshop. I think maybe we make some coffee while we're getting ready or something. Let some people drop in. Guys, we are at 7:01 on Twitch. Twitch is growing like a weed. Sui said life's been busy, just been playing some bullet chess as of late. I'm here to watch the breakdown and analysis of others. If you Sui, I don't mind. The workshop is for you, Sui, because your support, and thank you for that. You do whatever you want, man. Yeah. I was thinking about maybe looking at one of my games, maybe from the tournament. Oh, wait, no. We got to go to community, clubs. And the way the workshop works, Sui knows, I'm sure, because he's been around forever. But Sui's going to just hang out and watch other people's games. I freaking love that. That is really cool. I never really... Some people, I guess, do that. I guess I do know some people do that. Oh, wait, no. I guess the best way is just to go to my, thank you, Twitch. Okay. The best way is to come down here and find Rapid Games. The game against Josh, the great draw. Did I look at, I feel like I didn't look at all of these. I didn't look at Aishin's game. I did not look at Aishin's game. We're going to look at it. I don't think I did. And so we can already be talking chess, and that way I get to get some me time until as soon as someone wants to look at a game, we'll look at y'all's games. 1000%. But we're going to get moving because for the people that are just hanging out, they're like, well, I don't want to look at my game, but I want to learn some chess. Rhodes is here. Rhodes, how you doing? Rhodes, I said 2 o'clock. I'm so sorry I'm late. Forgive me. Were you here? Were you like 2 o'clock? Kind of early? Is that early for you? I used to do it at 4 o'clock, and then I started doing it at 3 o'clock. And I said this week was going to be 2 o'clock, and I freaking forgot I changed it to 2, and I was planning on 3. 3 o'clock? 3 o'clock? I was wrong. 71% by my esteemed opponent, Aishan. He is rated 1129. He played a good game, man. 84% by me. I had one blunder. I think I remember this game. I think I dropped something and still won. E4, E5, knight of 3, F5. Okay, he plays this unenterprising move. I always just play this move, guys. It's solid. If he takes, the bishop now can take, and it avoids all these lines of knight c6, takes, push, and g4. But this is bad. Black is way better here, and I need to not be afraid of this line. I just am like, I don't want to have to fight to get the pawn back. I just want a better position. But yeah, you just play h5. You just play h5. Now he's in trouble, man. Now he's in trouble. So I'm not afraid of it anymore. So I'm not going to play d6 anymore. I'm going to play knight c6. And when they play knight c3, I pin. And I didn't memorize any more than this. But I just played my d... Whoa. I just played my... Oh, I did play the right move. This is a newer game. It's a newer game. Daniel-san, let's go. It is early for you, Rhodes. Yeah. Sorry, Daniel. Sorry I'm late, brother. Guys, I'm sorry. I hope no one at 2 o'clock was like... He said workshop today. Where's the workshop? And then, oh. Well, knight f6 is a move. Knight f6 is actually the best move. I thought it was bishop b4. Your stockfish tricking me? But then I said, okay, now I'm doing this. I'm trading my dark squared bishop. Queen comes, bring the knight. This move, it's not on the list. Because it doesn't develop your pieces in castle. This knight isn't threatening anything. You don't need... I mean, this move, Aishan, if you're watching or you're watching a replay, no. Castle. Develop a piece. Your rating will go up. Yeah, type your name. Type your name exactly as it appears. What is it, like 8723 or something? I forget it. But yeah, right here, he played this move, guys, and it's not a good move. Even after castles, if I play this move, the knight is still protecting the weak pawn, and you could just play king b1. Defend it if you feel like you need to. Just defend it. Now the king is not going to be suspect to any checks later in the game, right? So h3, bad. Oh my god. The h3 is bad. Oh yeah, and this right here. This is his good bishop because it can skate between his pawns. This is his bad bishop. Same for me. My white bishop is good because it can skate between my center pawns. But the bishop that's the same color as my center pawns is hindered. So this is my bad bishop. Is it a winning advantage? No. Is it a slight advantage? Absolutely is. He should never be trading his good bishop for my bad bishop. And also helping me, get my queen off the back rank. My knight d5 could come. So I should have just played knight e7. Knight e7 is better too. Because after queen takes, he has knight d5. He has knight d5, moving the same piece twice, but it comes with tempo, and it's a beautiful knight. So that's okay. He didn't do it. He plays the h3 maneuver. This knight, he puts a knight on the rim. He's not castled, and he hasn't moved his bishop yet. This is a bad move. It's a bad move. Daniel at 723. Got you, Daniel. You're first. Rhodes, have you been playing chess, man? Has chess affected... How's Eric? I don't see Eric around a lot anymore. I think Eric has been watching the stream. Are you and Eric still playing chess? You have been playing. Good. This is a bad move. It puts a knight on an unprotected square. It moves the same piece twice. just develop a castle, man. Takes. That was excellent. It wanted me to just rip. It went a pawn, a center pawn. Now I have 2 center pawns. He has none. You guys haven't played in months. Oh, you're still in contact with him, man? I gotta reach out. See how he's doing, man. Freaking Eric is the man. I freaking love Eric. Okay, check. King over. Queen comes. That's a little bit scary. This queen's kind of in my grill. I saw this move. Oh, I think maybe I did look at this game. I saw this move. But I went for this. Now, here's the problem. This bishop is way stronger than I thought because he has this move. He has this move. Okay, so he should have attacked my knight. One of these squares. Attack my knight. And if I take, he has check. And after takes, he's well, oh yeah, the knight has to come back, and then my queen's hanging. So I was losing. I was losing here, guys. Okay, we're gonna look at Daniel's game now. Daniel, do you have a particular game you want to look at? Oh, let me search on chess.com and get my Daniel up. Do you have a second account called Daniel87237? The cat, dude. You know what I love about your cat pick, Daniel, is it reminds me of our cat, the cat that didn't make it. Yeah. And he used to lay on the ground like that too, with his legs all spread on his back and just like weird. What a great cat, man. Is there any specific game you'd like to look at? Here's a 58 move win. We have a 30 move loss, 37 move loss. That's a pretty good one. You know what? Have you played the tournament recently? I would love to see a game of yours, Daniel, against a higher rated opponent, like against me. And we can, dude, let's look at this game. Well, no, you know what? Maybe I can find someone else. No, yeah, that was just a game. That wasn't even the tournament. It was a single game. Charlie, do you think the hacker beat you? Yeah. That was in the bullet thing. Yeah, dude, let's look at our game, Daniel, because we're gonna find out better moves that you could have made against a higher rated player. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Game review coming in, folks. Playing against Coach on the computer page can help you think and improve. I saw the greatest video today, and I want to. Oh, yeah, you were winning. You were winning at one point. You were winning at one point. You made 2 blunders. I made 1. I had 2 misses. You had 1 miss. So if you would have just not made the blunders, I would have made a blunder, and you could have won. I know it's hard not to blunder, but... And then you had a miss, too. You had a miss. You played like a 500, a little bit lower than your actual rating, but again, that's just kind of fun. It's fun when it's higher. When it's lower, it's like, womp womp. Okay. Knight f6, d4. Okay, dude. I'm cool with this move. Stockfish ain't digging it. Yeah, no, Stockfish says it's the best move, but it wants to take the pawn because it's a pawn. And the line goes like this, e5, d5. It goes like this, I thought. Something like that. But dude, knight c6, you develop peace. Freaking love it. I should have played d5 and taken space, and I didn't. That's a bet. I just developed. Takes. I play e5. Now you have d5 here. This is something to learn. Pinning my pawn is good. It's an idea. But as soon as I unpin, the knight still has to move. This pawn is out there in loony land on your side of the board, protecting your knight on f6 that wants to protect your f7 square after you castle, if you do castle at all. I want you to see the last rapid. It was crazy. We'll look at it real quick, Daniel, after we look at this, okay? Okay, so queen e7, blocking your bishop. Dude, don't block the bishop, bro. Don't block the b hopper. It can't hop. It's the only piece that has the word hop in it, yet it can't hop over its own pieces. Yeah, and you need to move the bishop to castle. So Stockfish says knight e4 is a good move. Yeah, it's unprotected. Yeah, I would play queen e2. c5 is a pretty good square for your knight, though, man. And it can come back. The blockade, right? So, block... That's, you know, the way you should look at this, Daniel, the way you're getting better at chess is say, this pins the pawn and solves the problem, and actually attacks my pawn. But I really don't like the way it blocks my bishop because I want a castle. So, well, so let me find a better move. Let me see if there's anything else. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you're going to make a move that's going to slow you down from castling, block your bishop, ask yourself, surely there's something else. Knight g4 is a move, and dude, knight g8 is better than queen e7. Is that crazy? Queen e7 is the 5th best move. So, okay, so you get it. Castles is good because if you take, I get this. And Daniel's good. Daniel saw it. Daniel didn't go for it. You got the queen out so the bishop can move. That's good. But that's a miss. Oh, wait. It's knight e5 is best. Oh my god. Oh, I'm attacking your... Yeah, you dropped the piece here. I'm like, I didn't even see what happened. I'm threatening the knight. Yeah. So, Stockfish says knight g4 or knight back even. Knight anywhere. Just don't lose the knight, right? d5, is d5 a move? No. Yeah, d5 could be a move too, probably. No, because the pawn falls. Yeah. Okay, so you blundered. So we're going to look at your last rapid game because you just blundered a piece. And this is a bad move. EF6 was better. Yeah, I should have taken the piece. But see, then you get my piece. Don't you? Oh, rook e1. Check. This is crushing. If the king moves... Crushing. Okay, we're going to look at your last rapid game, and then we'll move on to the next one. The last rapid game was crazy. The 58 mover. Let's look at this game. You scared me, I guess. Yeah, I hear you, man. I'll tell you, dude. When you like, it's like if you have to fight Mike Tyson. I mean, you're trapped in a hallway and the doors are locked and he's coming at you and he's going to fight you whether you want to or not. You're not going to win. But you know what you do? You fight Mike Tyson anyway. Right? Gotta try. I'm not Mike Tyson, but when you play someone that's over twice your rating, don't let aura or anything affect the way you play. You just gotta play. You gotta play chess. Don't let me. Don't let freaking someone like me. I'm not that good. I made mistakes that game. Yeah. E4. This guy's name is Brassy JJJ. J. Okay. Okay. This looks great. Love it. Developing. Unpinning. Good job. Castles. Bishop D3. Very aggressive. The only thing that could be coming to play is rook check. But then you have knight E2. And you're fine. Bishop takes, queen takes. Now you can castle either side. You're way ahead in development. Queen check. Fine. You already moved the bishop. and now he can mess your pawns up if he wants to. In this position, let's see what the fishy says. After queen e7. Oh, dude, this is another one. This is kind of crazy, right? Just queen e2. I know it seems weird to trade queen so early, right? His queen is way better than yours. It has options. Well, it has an option. But in this position, whose queen is better? His is, right? So just trade queens. It's no big deal. He runs out now and wants to bring a rook, but you can just castle. And you're playing chess. You're playing chess. I actually, in this position, I like knight e2. Yeah, it's about the same. It's almost the same valuation. I just come back. Great. If he takes, you just take. And he's developing your pieces. Queen, okay, but you move the bishop there. Now he can play the great annoying knight g4. He didn't play it. He thinks doubling your pawns is good. It's not even, well, it's the fifth best move. Is to this is not a good move, guys. Let me tell you why. Bishops are better than knights. You say, yeah, but I messed his pawns up. Yes. And if you have been working on your endgames and you're going to try and trade down to an endgame and exploit these weak pawns, if that's your plan, then maybe it could be a good move. Could be a good move. But it's not. Stockfish doesn't like it because he's giving a bishop for a knight for no good reason. It's and the knight's pinned. The threat is stronger than the execution. Let the knight be pinned. What if you do something like what if he just brings a piece? Yeah, knight g4 is the best move because of this. It's pinned. Now what do you do? Like queen d2 and then rook e8, or just takes. Just c6. Just defend the pawn. Black is freaking fine. Black is doing fine. He had knight g4. Always remember that idea when the bishop comes and it's pinned. If you use that as a blocker, this sucks because now he's getting the bishop and he might be doubling your pawns too. Okay, takes. Knight comes in. Beautiful knight attacking the weak square. You take it. Is that the best move? It's not even on the list. Stockfish says this pawn is doubled. Just castles. Crazy, huh? Knight takes. Queen c1. Knight d7. Rook e1. Yeah, Stockfish. I knew it. Because the queen. And you're going to have another pretty wide open file here too. So that's pretty interesting, right? Stockfish sacks that pawn to get developed because of the open files, and you're ahead in development. So let's get more development. Taper Mike, how you doing, brother? Did Rhodes say he had a game he wanted to look at, or did he want to? Rhodes, do you want to look at a game? Do you have your coffee? Speaking of coffee, we're making coffee. Let me finish this game, then we'll make coffee real quick. So yeah, just castles. This is kind of the same thing. You're giving the knight. If anything, maybe. Is this an idea? You know what I'm saying? To challenge the knight. Takes. Queen h5, h6, stopping the mate. That was actually a mate threat. And then just castles. This works too. And then the thing is, now this knight, it can't live here. You know what I mean? It's an idea. It's an idea, I see. But you gave the bishop. Cool, you have the best knight on the board for a minute. He can play. He can kick it. And that... It's the third best move. But you shouldn't be... This knight's not threatening anything right now, right? Stockfish wants... Queen e6. That's really hard to see. I'm playing knight bd7 and threatening to take this. White's best move is here and here. That looks a hell of a lot better than this, right? With that knight. Okay, he kicks you. You come back. Don't forget that knight is unprotected. The queen is attacking it. Queen, okay, d5. Ooh! d5's a move. Dude, I didn't even see... I mean, I just didn't even see d5. I see queen e2 because it starts to connect my rooks, right? That's a good Okay, any game, let me look. I'm playing RDR. You can pick one, brother, if you want to, or I could pick it. But yeah, if you want to take a minute from RDR, dude, we're doing great, man. We're having a freaking workshop, brother. Sui Benji is watching on Facebook. He said, not only look at one of my games, I'm just gonna watch the other games and learn from them. Ha! Chess. Freaking love you guys. Okay, guys, who's watching Conor McGregor tonight, bro? Dude, not Conor McGregor, but Dana White brought me and my girlfriend even closer together. I like watching UFC, but I am not a rich man. I can't get the pay-per-view every time, guys, or even almost any time. I mean, I could, but that's an expensive, yeah. So I don't get to watch UFCs. I watch a lot. I watch MMA on like older fights and stuff, right? Since it's gone on Paramount Plus, Cordy's like, I have Paramount Plus, huh? Dude, we had fight night for freaking for the Ronda Rousey fight. That was on Netflix, though. We had fight night. It's date night. Fight night, date night with Courtney for the UFC 250 at the White House, right? And we've done a couple other fight nights too. And then she said, Conor McGregor's fighting on Saturday. Courtney told me, guys. Courtney told me. Is that not awesome? Dude, let me tell you something about Courtney, man. Courtney is her own person, like, by far. We've been together for a very long time, and we love each other very deeply. And you know what? If I treat her bad, she'll be gone. She's not going to take any crap. She's not... She loves me, and she'll do anything for me before I ask her to. But she doesn't do that to keep me. Oh, I'm afraid she's not afraid Charlie's going to leave. She loves me, and we've broken up a couple times, and we were both very miserable. That's why we're together right now, because we love each other. My point is, she's not watching Fight Night, so I'll come over. She's totally down with it. Courtney and I used to sit here and watch Ninja play Fortnite. Courtney will watch when the UFC's over tonight, and I go, can we watch a World Series of Poker video? The World Series is going on right now. She'll be like, sure. And she'll sit there and watch poker with me. Because we just enjoy the time together. She's not going like, oh, I hate this, but I love him so much, so I'm gonna put up with poker. It's not like that. It's like, she's like, oh, cool. Oh, you want to watch poker? Let's watch it. And she gets into it. She gets into it. She get into Fortnite. She get anything I want to watch. She's down. She's down for it. You know what I mean? And of course, I'll watch the cooking shows too. I'm interested in that stuff. I got a good girlfriend. I'm hoping for Max to win free on Paramount Plus. You're watching, hoping Max to win. Yeah, I'll tell you this. I have more love for Conor than Max. Everyone's saying that Max is going to win. Therefore, I'm going for the underdog story. But Conor was such a great champion. But that's like Mike Tyson fighting. Again, it's like he was such a great champion, so much better than everyone else. But he's an old man now. You know what I'm saying? Conor's been living the good life, man. Conor's been out there spending money. What is it? Doesn't he have like a Lamborghini boat or something? You get soft. It's like Rocky. What happened to Rocky, guys? Rocky got rich and famous and was the champ. And then he got soft. Then he got silk sheets in his bed. Then he stopped getting up at 3:30 in the morning to run. And he got soft. And the guys that are hungry, that don't have the money, they hit harder than the soft guys. They want it more. You know what I'm saying? He got it. So we'll see. We'll see how Conor does. Queen D4. I kind of like it. Does this bishop G4 seems dumb? Oh, he's on the pawn, so maybe bishop F5. It's so funny, dude. The number one move is bishop G4, and that's the first move I see here. I don't know why, but that's Stockfish's move. I'm kind of like, it looks dumb. It's like the bishop to nowhere, right? You're not going to castle this way. It's not attacking or pinning anything. It's unprotected. But I'm like, why does this move appear to be the best move to me? And I was trying to talk myself out of it, and then I looked at Stockfish, and it's like, bishop g4. But bishop f5 works too. No. You just take the pawn. Oh, no. Dude, castling is important. And after this move, your queen and the king are on the same file, but you can castle. You can castle, and you need to castle. Bishop f5. Queen f5, queen takes. Now he's on this, and now you can't castle. Oh, and your best move, the crazy. Oh, it's looking at castles. It's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, Daniel, this is a center pawn, man. This is a center pawn. It's his only center pawn. You could take it, but castling is the fourth best move. It's half a pawn worse. And you know what? To be honest with you, most of the time, especially at your rating, if you want your rating to go up, just castle, because you'll be right most of the time. Rhodes says, I'm hopeful Connor gets knocked out just to shut him up. I get that. Rhodes, I get that. Yeah, he's a pretty arrogant, cocky jerk. He's not behind me, is he? You know what I'm saying? That could kick my butt. Creek, how you doing, man? Castles is good because you're castling. Now you should take that freaking pawn. Oh, he does this and just gives the rook. What is he thinking? Now take the pawn. Yes! You're crushing +4. Okay, now we got to get rooks to open files. This file's not a problem because the bishop has it plugged, right? So if he brings a rook here later or attacks the queen, your queen has millions of squares to go to. So, oh, you played a check. It's not on the list. It's not on the list, but I actually think I'm kind of liking it. It doesn't like it. Stockfish wants bishop f4 or rook a d1, defending the pawn. Right? Just look at the rooks in the center. Did you see my smothered mate thing I posted on Facebook? Did you look at my rooks? They were on d1 and e1. Check. Queen comes back. You are up an exchange in what? 3, 6. You're up an exchange in a pawn. You can trade down. Yeah. Okay. You're still winning. F4. No. F4 is bad. Oh, it keeps the knight out. It's not on the list. It's not on the list. You know why? Put your rooks on files that are open or that you expect to open. That might open. Or that you're going to try and open by shoving pawns or whatever, right? Your rooks are not developed. Feeding Master David Bassett, what did he tell us? You know what I'm going to say, Daniel-san. He told us you're not done developing until you develop your rooks. You still... All this stuff here... You never moved the same piece twice when you didn't have to. Oh, well, actually, you did. No, he kicked your knight. You never moved the same piece twice when you didn't have to. I mean, you did because you have to. It's a rook. You have to take it. That's a pawn. You have to take it. It's a free e pawn. You have to take that. Good move. Now you got to go all the way back to the beginning of the game. We're past claiming our fair share of the center, developing our pieces effectively, and castling, right? You're not done developing until you develop your rooks. That's why Stockfish wants this one move is the best, but then it wants rook fe1. It wants rook a d1. And then there's some couple pawn moves. c4 kind of defends the pawn, right? But dude, no way, man. Rooks. You understand when you play this move? Like once he does something, let's just say he does anything just to oh well, yeah, he lets the knight out. You just attack the pawn, right? Well, I was gonna say he can't move the bishop because the pawn's hanging, but look, actually he can. Develop the rooks. Develop the rooks. In this position, not f4. Develop the rooks. Okay. The knight comes. Oh, I'm probably ripping that. Yep. You ripped it. Good job. Now, where do rooks belong on open files, right? Rook A, B1, number one answer. Doesn't let him do this to start attacking your pawn. King F7, Rook F, E1. Stockfish move. So easy to see. Daniel says, well, apparently I don't, but I'm learning. Yeah, you got it. You got it, Daniel. Daniel, did you see the first two moves after this position are develop the rooks? And you should be thinking back here. Right here, you should be doing the same thing. Okay, F4, bing, you shove. Oh, he plays knight, you took it. Yeah, beautiful. And then, you know what? This is not an awful move, but it actually is because let me see if it's not on the list. It's the fifth best move. It's the fifth best move. It's not awful. It's not awful, and you're still winning. But they're both the moves are rook moves. Because can he not play bishop a6 and just win this pawn? Now you're like, okay, well now I have to start defending my stuff. You lose a pawn, right? And this is going to come with tempo. So just bring the rook. Now, if he comes, it's not tempo, and it's your move again, right? Okay. Oh, did he play it? Rook F3. Oh, hey, that was a pretty snarky idea. Bishop takes that other pawn. Dude, this center, while it could be attacked by the bishop, is just so strong like bull, man. I mean, you got space. This is beautiful. And now it's gone. But you got active rook. You're going to get another active rook. Oh, it gives you the pawn. You love it. Yes. You know what? But remember this. This is Luft. If he ever gets this, it's not a back rank mate. You just come up. So this move might have been unnecessary. I know you said, okay, if I do this, I'll never get back rank mated, but you can't get back rank mated anyway, just so you understand, okay? Yeah, now he's attacking that square. And he gets it with check. So how do we stop this? Another way to maybe do it. Well, this pawn's protected, right? Is it like rook a3 or something? Stockfish is like, just take the freaking pawn, dude. There's a pawn hanging here, brother. Rook e1, hit the bishop. And then you could play. You can maybe bring a rook up. F5. It just wants to take the pawn. Yeah, rook e2. This is the idea. Because if he checks, you just come up. And he doesn't get the square. Right? If he can't attack it again. Yeah, I was trying to figure out a way to save that square, but that's okay. Bing, bing. Okay, now he's getting that pawn. He's getting both of them now. Okay. Understand, this is a passed pawn. And if you take this pawn, if you would have taken it back here somewhere before the rook was attacking it. Well, yeah, back here somewhere, you just take it. Now you have two passed pawns, and one of them has the rook already behind it. It's huge. Okay. Okay, okay, you got that pawn, you get that pawn, he gets that pawn. Now, it's like, oh, wow. Yes! And this is actually the best move. I would take this way. But I guess he can play bishop c2 and protect. But that's the best move. Good job. Rook comes, hit the bishop. He hits the rook. Checking. Okay, you got the pawn. Oh my god, he hung his bishop. This is going to be hard to win unless your opponent gives you the free bishop. And then he lets it trade. Yeah, oh my god. Good job. Good game, Daniel. Okay, so Rhodes said he was gonna look. I'm gonna make a cup of coffee while Rhodes tells me if he did find a game, and if not, I'll just pick one. Rhodes, I'm just want to be sure he didn't. Dude, I love hanging out with you guys in the workshop. You know what's really cool too is about the workshop is I know you guys better than I know other people because you're supporters. Supporters come to the stream more often. Supporters have been through hundreds, thousands of hours of Charly Sardo gaming streams. You know me, I know you, and it's fun hanging out with you guys in the workshops. And we're bringing new people in all the time, guys. We're bringing new people in all the time. I'll take you guys with me. Man, that was a long coffee cam, guys. Sorry about that. It just took a sec. Well, I spilled. No, here's the problem. Let me show you guys the coffee cam with the light on, okay? Dude, it's dark in there. That camera, it can see in the dark. It's way darker in there. So when I'm pouring the water, when I'm pouring the water, I can't see it fill up. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. But when you turn a light on, it almost looks worse. Watch. I guess it looks better. I guess it does look better. But then but that's a whole other step. It's my life, guys. Okay, so Rhodes said any game, maybe the 64 move lose, got a brilliant last game. All right, let's check it out. And it's Rhodes 22, I think, right? This is you. It's Rhodes 22, right, Rhodes? It says Australia. I'm going to go ahead and say this is Rhodes, okay? Rhodes 22. That'd be hilarious if he's all, no, dude, that's not me. No, it is. The rating's right. Yeah. Got you. That'd be funny, dude. That'd be funny. You got a brilliant in the last game or the 64 move loss. We can look at the brilliant, man. I kind of want to see the brilliant. Okay. Game review. Let's see how you did. White had a nice tactical find in that game. Yeah, you were doing good, and then you were losing, and then you won. Dude, you played like a 1350. You played a good game. You had one miss, one blunder. He had one miss, one blunder. You had one mistake. He had 5. That was the big difference in this game. And then you had a brilliant, and you also had, dude, 3 great moves. You had 3 blue, I call them blue moves, right? You had 3 great moves. He had 2. It's pretty good by both of you guys, man. This is just from the pool, I'm sure. Okay. And what I was talking about was the, well, okay, here let's go. Let me see. Okay. Dude, love it. The guy plays Bishop F5. I'm like, in this position, I'm like E4, right? Knight F3 or E4, according to Stockfish. And E3 is also a move. Similar to the reason why in my Latvian, I showed you at the beginning of the stream, I just want to get this pawn. I don't want to deal with them holding on to it, right? I want to get it. I want to get it done. I want to get my bishop out. I want to get castled. That's why I'll play E3 a lot. But dude, here E4 is the second most common move. Knight C3 is fine. Oh, come on. Who's doing this? Branson pays you $25. Chess Chillers, subscribers, game review. Branson, thank you, dude. Hello, Charlie and Chillers. Hoping to make it back in time for a game review, for sure. If not, we'll do it. We'll just have to do it another time. But I'll get you. We'll do it on stream or something. Branson is a great supporter of the stream. Dude, thank you so much for a 25. That's insane. Knight F3. Hey, but dude, E4, by far. E4 is like 3/4 of a pawn better than any other move. Develop your pieces effectively. Claim your fair share of the center. You have an unfair share of the center, dude. You're being rude. And this was just a bad move by your opponent. I mean, anything. Knight F6. B5, hold the pawn. Knight D7 is a move too, I guess. But it's like, here, your opponent should have played Knight F6. This doesn't help castle. Plus, it falls into the great move that you played. He comes back. Oh, no, Rhodes. It's not even on the list. Rhodes, no. You're ahead in development. You're ahead in development, in castling development. You need to bring a piece, capture a pawn, develop a piece, and prepare castling. Let's see, it is almost half a pawn better than the Stockfish H4 move. Yeah. It's almost half a pawn better than we're not Stockfish, so we don't always play H4, but developing a piece while capturing a pawn, Rose. Come on now. I need you to see this one. This is the easy one. This is the easiest way to play Stockfish's best move. By developing your pieces and castling. Look at that center. So pretty. Now, bishop c4, b5, your bishop moves, and then you can play b4 and take your e-pawn. Did you see this? Because I just saw this now. Bishop, what about b5? Oh my god. Stockfish is like, no, you're too far behind in development. I'm sacking. Now he has to do this. And then where's the check? I feel like there should be a knight mate somewhere here. And then just and then just castles. You literally, because look at his king. He's minimum 1, 2, 3, 4 moves away from being castled. 4 moves away. And you control El Centro. This is, this is crazy. Rook b8, queen e2 probably. Wow, Stockfish is nuts and wants queen b3. Isn't that, look at that. Is that a crazy move? But the queen b3 comes with a threat. Oh yeah, so anyway, yeah, Stockfish would be one, but the reason why you should see bishop takes c4 and just go that is for that reason. This, you're opening the center. You're not castled yet. You could play this move later after you castle. Takes, pawn takes, knight comes, bishop takes. Okay. Pinning, moving. This bishop, what's this knight threatening? It's like, oh my god, that knight's gonna move. I have to pin it. No, your opponent made a horrible move here. He's not very good with his light squared bishop, I'm gonna say, because what's he doing? What's he doing? Can someone tell me what this guy's doing? No. Oh, maybe he wants to play g6 or something? This is all so rough. One thing about this move, it really kind of screws him up a little bit. If he goes here, you can take. Oh, it wants queen check first, and then take. And then you're winning a pawn. His king's in trouble. It's bad. It's bad. So, you're having that pawn on d5 is pretty valuable. So I appreciate the idea of it. Is this even a move? It's a second best move. Third best move. Okay, fourth best move. It's moving down the line once it looks more and more. Just sack the pawn. Get castled is what he needs to do. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Check. Do you play the check, bro? Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Castling's the thing, because he can play queen d7, right? He brings a knight. Fine. Now you should castle. Knight e5 is Stockfish's best move because of the pin, and it improves the knight, and he can't take and mess your pawns up. So this is actually a really good move. I'm like, just castle. No. Now he has a target. Your king. Right? So yeah, queen check. Okay, knight comes. He wants to play b5. Okay, and then you play d6. Looking at this square, I like it, but b5. And the bishop moves backwards. So now you have to sack, I think. Takes, and black is better. Yeah, so, this is a what does he threaten thing. Did you not see the bishop move backwards, maybe? I'm thinking maybe that's what happened. Takes. Here's what's happening here, Rhodes. There are pins. There are weak squares, kind of. All this stuff is happening while you're not castled. You needed to play the whole game just after you castled and played bishop f4. And bring the rooks to the middle of the board to open files. And then do all this that you're doing. And your rating will go up. That's just really the truth. Okay. And you had a brilliant, we haven't seen it yet? The knight check. Oh, that's a pretty cool move. Because the knight is protected, right? Another idea Might have been... Queen G7 is there. The number one move is the move you played, but the number two move is castles. Telling you, man. It matters. Okay. Check. Take the bishop. Good move. You're not going to mate him with the queen and the bishop. Maybe there's tactics here. Well, no. That's a D pawn. It's a center pawn, and it comes with check. Something you should probably look at. Should consider. This is a pretty good move. Plus, you have ideas. Imagine, well, no, not necessarily, but Queen D5 check, King F8, Queen F3 check, Bishop F6, cast. That's what the computer wants. We don't always play like a computer, but still, yeah. But taking on D5. This is just a check. It doesn't do anything. It helps him kind of untangle. Stockfish wants a castle. Oh, no, well, now it's still saying Queen F3. Castle's good. That's not a bad move at all. Yep, black is over. You're just down a piece. That's why black is so much better. Rook comes, king back. Queen attacks. Good. Take with the rook, maybe? Nope. Bishop takes. F6, and then maybe queen takes or rook takes or something. Bring the other rook. This looks like a grandmaster move. Daniel, look what he did here. Everything is okay. Develop your rooks. I love when I saw this move, I'm like, that's such a great move. It's so simple, but I'm telling you, it's a great move. And then I looked and it's stockfish. Stockfish, yeah. Good move. The knight comes. There is a pin. We could just... Oh. Maybe bishop. What's the best? Oh, you could Queen A6 check. Queen 6 check. And then... Is that what you did? Yes, Rhodes. Okay, you took the piece this way. But he pins. But does he pin to win? Rook D5. Yeah, now you're winning. Now you're crushing. He takes a pawn. You take a rook. Wow. Rook F5. Stockfish tactics. Dude, that's a great move. He's trying to get pawns. You just take the knight. Oh, you got the back rank mate. You didn't give up, dude. You lost a piece early. You had some compensation. That was a great game. Great game. How'd you like that game? That was good, man. That was really good. Lessons that we can take from this. The biggest thing is here. The whole point of the Queen's Gambit accepted is you get a big center because they give the center up. Do you understand what I'm saying, Rhodes? That's the whole idea of playing C4 is when they take, they give up the square. And you're attacking the pawn. And they can try and hold it. But it's like the 5th best move. And then you take this pawn. It's the whole point. So when you have a chance to do it, it was the best move. You should just take it. This is opening the board before you're castled. You're ahead in development, but his king's not in trouble. You don't have enough firepower yet. Okay? Those I think are the biggest lessons to learn from here. And again, like yeah, this was the best stockfish move. But like this opens up the file toward his king, but his pawn will attack your knight. And again, you don't have a rook. You don't have a rook. Yeah, you guys gotta work on the rook developmental scenarii. Anyone else got a game? Anyone else got a story? Who's watching freaking Who's watching tonight? Conor McGregor, man. We all talked about it a little bit. Like, they changed something. Okay, there it is. Current viewers one. I'm like, what? They changed where my viewer count for my Facebook Live is. And I'm like, I never know how many people are on watching on Facebook. These are smaller streams, so it's probably Branson driving in the car. Is he, don't type while driving, Branson. When's the fight start? Let's find out. Why not? We're gonna get the on my time. I just said what time UFC because like prelims start early, right? Prelims start at 4. No, early prelims start at 4. The regular prelims start at 6. Main card at 8. McGregor versus Holloway expected around 10:45 p.m. my time. So the early prelims start in 1 hour and 18 minutes. The prelims start in 2 hours and 18 minutes. And the main card starts in 4 hours and 18 minutes. Did you see Dina beat Gotham Chess yesterday? Was it a video she dropped from the Daniel Naroditsky Memorial Tournament, or did they actually play yesterday? She was so pissed about not developing her rooks, but still won. Are you serious? She was mad at herself for not developing her rooks? It's the theme of the stream. Dude, I saw this guy. Let me see if I could find him. He's like a black guy, like maybe from like, he has some type of accent, like Jamaica. I don't know where he's from. I don't know where he's from. I don't know accents, guys. He's a chess player. And let me go to my history and see if I can find this guy. He had a great video that, like, it's like he was talking to me. I'm not even kidding. He was talking to me, guys. And I'm gonna talk to you now. And I gave him a comment. Oh wait, maybe I can find him here. Yeah.
Everybody has that.
Raheem
that just doesn't do remove. Like,
Raheem Glaves is his name. Raheem Glaves Chess. He has just about 6,000. Oh no, 5. Yeah. He has about 6,000 subscribers. He's about twice as big as me. I could tell he's pretty strong, and he made a good video. And it was about, okay, you hear when you see a good move, look for a better one. But he gave examples. He gave examples, right? Like for instance, in this position, I immediately see this, and it's a Stockfish best move. It's just the most natural move. But he said, well, wait, are there any checks here? Is there any... There's no checks. Is queen safe? I can't attack his queen or his king. Okay, then I'll play this. He said, like, look for your move, and you'll find it. And it'll very, very often be something... It'll often be something like castles. You know what I'm saying? But you say, well, if I castle, he can mess this up, so I'm not going to castle. Yeah, I'm going to play this as pin. We'll trade it off, then I'll castle. He said when you find the move that you're probably going to make, he said, do all your checklist, man. Look for checks, captures, and threats. It could be a nice, natural, no-brainer kind of move. Just castles. Yeah, but there might be something else. Just look around a little bit see if there's something better. And he gave a few examples of you could just play the natural move here that most people would just take. You took your knight, most people would take back. But there could be a check, an in-between check or something that wins more material or something. He was just saying, like when you find the move that you think you're going to make, the natural move you're going to make, he said, do your checks, do your checklist, look for checks, captures, and threats. because there might be something better than that move. And then he gives a few examples. Coach Raheem Glaves chess. The video is called "Give Me 20 Minutes and You'll Finally See the Gap Between You and the Top Players." I'm like, a great way to get clicks on YouTube is to promise outrageous claims. This opening wins 90% of the time. Never lose again with the Caro Can. And it's BS, but it gets people to click. This is kind of like that. Give me 20 minutes and you'll finally see the gap between you and the top players. You know what, man? I learned something. I know the idea when you see a good move, look for a better one. But when he gives the examples and talked about it, I wanted to play chess all of a sudden. Yeah, because it's like, ooh, I want to do that. Now the problem with that is, kind of tough to do that in bullet or blitz. But in 10 minute, don't, if you just spend a few more seconds once you pick your move, be sure, try and find a better move. Look for a trick. Look for a tactic. Let's see if there's anything there. If there's not, then just play your move. Play your good move. Your good solid recapture. Your good solid rook to the open file. They're great moves. But he said that's what the better players do. They look and they find the move they're going to play, and then they check to see if there's anything better. You know what I mean? Yeah, rather than just developing or something. Developing's good. And at the lower level, you know what he even said? He said if you're low rated, he said, look, don't even worry about checks, captures, and threats. He said if you're under 800 or something, he said just do checks. Let's just start there. You find a move, a very natural, normal move. This is a screamer, right? But so I'm probably almost guaranteed going to play this, but based on what he was saying is I'd stop for a minute or a few seconds and say, is there anything else? There's no check. Okay, there is nothing. So now just go and play your move. And it seemed like very, very good advice, and I felt like he was talking to me. Because I felt like that will 1,000,000% help me improve. I said you are a good teacher, is what I said in the comments, and he replied back respect or something like that. I saw something that helps me. A knight can only move to the opposite color it's on. Yeah. Yep. A knight can only move. Yeah, the knight changes color every move. That's exactly right. Yeah. A knight can. Another great thing too is, like this knight, out of any of these squares in this box, the farthest place it's from, the most moves is the one on the diagonal. It's this one. It's like, if I want to get to this square, I could go 1, 2 moves and get to this square. If I want to get to this square, I can go 1, 2, 3 and get to this square, right? If I want to get to this square, I think it might be 4 moves. When the knight wants to get to that. So that way, if someone's checking your king with a knight and they're checking you and you don't want to lose, you put the king here and it takes them well, let's see. How many moves it takes to get here? I want to come from let's say right here. So I have to go 1, 2, 3, 4. There's no faster way, right? I think it's 4 moves. If they're checking your king, you put it diagonal 1 square away, and then they got to move a bunch more times to check you again. That's I think that's a helpful thing. Like in an end game if you're low on time or something, and the guy's trying to fork you. He's trying to fork you around. He's trying to tease you. You just put it one space away diagonally, and takes about a hell of a time to check you again. Does anyone else have a game? Does anyone else have a game? What else could we learn, man? I wish I could just pull up freaking, dude, let's do something fun, man. Let's do something fun like, I wish I could do the what do you call it? I wish I could do the, use the lessons, man. Learn, wait. You go to study, right? End game. Basic rook endgames. Dude, okay, I think I have don't I have a lead chess button over here somewhere? Play lead chess study. So close. I gotta change the board. Oh, the board's not shown. There we go. There we go. Why is it the wrong size? Oh, that's weird, isn't it? How come it's chopped off? This is a lead chess study, too. It's okay, I'm gonna fix this. Guys, believe it or not, like, I could 1,000,000% learn from this myself. Okay, we got a board now. We got a board now. Got a board now. Dude, Daniel, this is what we have to do to get better at chess, brother. This is what we do to get better at chess. Daniel's like, why do you say my name? Because if you learn something right now, your rating will go up. I think it was Anna Cramling asked MVL, Super Grandmaster, how do I get my rating up? And he said endgames. Easy points. Easy points. You guys want, this is it. Easy points. Chapter 1. So that you're telling me there's no... Oh, that kind of sucks. And if there is stuff, it might be in another language. Oh, man. This would have been a really good one, but you know what? We're going to see it. Basic Rook Endgames. I think that's the one we just looked at. Endgames you should know. Dude, is this the same guy again? How come there's no language? Chapter 1. What are these? Made by AI or something? How come there's no talking? Endgames chapter, game 2 endgame chapter, first game endgames you should know. Endgame, no. Endgames for 400 to 1600. Let's try this one. How to win winner positions. Get the knight, they said. Good move. What would you play in this position? Good move. Rook takes. What would you play in this position? I would shove this pawn. Good. What would you play in this position? He's attacking. I'd shove it again. Good move. King comes. Now what do? Do you like push this pawn? The rook's not the pawn. There's maybe rook here. Nope. What do you guys think in this position? King up. King up. How come there's no hint button? Oh, there's a view the solution. It's not this. There's no hint. Oh, of course, put the rook behind a pawn. Duh. See? I'm supposed to know this, guys. Enjoying your cup of tea. It's a move mug rocks. Dude, I love it, Rhodes, that we are both drinking out of the same mug. Branson, well, I'm on lead chess right now. I mean, I won't, I won't be able to do a review. I mean, we could do the computer analysis or whatever, but yeah, Branson, let's do it. What's your name on if you do you want lead chess? The thing is, ooh, Atticus said want to play a couple games. Oh, that was 15 hours ago. Oh man. You'll be home in 2 minutes. I would rather chess.com. For you, I will do it. If the game's on, if the game you want to look at, okay, if the game you want to look at, don't rush. Stop. I don't even want voice to text. Stop. We'll see you in 2 minutes. Okay? Guys, in this position, I'm so silly. I'm like, what do you do? What do you do? Guys, rooks belong behind passed pawns, yours and your opponent's. This, I should have made that move and said, you know how I found the best move? You know how I found it? Rooks belong behind passed pawns, yours and your opponent's. So, what do you do? Oh, yeah, he comes here. I think we just push, right? Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Now we're going to lock the rook in. How is this the best? How is this the... What's the idea here? Do we need to come here now? You know, yeah, I found that because I didn't want him to push. I didn't want to do something else and have him push. And then I can't come here. I got to come here. But I guess it doesn't matter, but either way. Okay, good move. King comes. We're going to look at Branson's game in a minute, guys. Now, I immediately figure just play bishop, and then run another pawn. It's rook's trapped, right? I don't understand. You're a passenger. Oh, good. I'm like, that's a lot of messages for a guy who's driving home. Thank you, Branson. You put my heart at ease. Rook A1, all opposite. Road says pawn up. Pawn up. Yeah, that was from before, right? Yeah, so, okay. Now what do I do? I'm telling you, to me, it goes like this. Or we just... No, I don't like that. I don't need to take this, but the problem with this pawn is it can distract me, and then he might be able to get this pawn. But this is just completely losing. I want you guys to see the idea of bishop. It doesn't like it, but the idea of bishop to c2 or f7, I mean, and then putting it here, his rook's trapped. Now my rook can come and just queen another pawn. Like, it wants to play the best move, and I get it. So we just take this. Yeah, and the reason I take that is because so it can't distract me later. And now you just go this way. And now you just... What do? You protect with check, like here maybe? What is it? Okay, bishop here. I thought that was kind of weird because if he comes to this square, then he can hit it the bishop. But okay, so now he's hitting my pawn, but it's protected. So I can just go, oh, wait. It's not it? This I think trades down though. What do you play in this position? You just shove the pawn? No? What does it want? Yeah, rook back. Dude, I'm telling you, this is weird. Stockfish. Like, I hope the guy did all this with, this isn't like one of his games. And he did all this with Stockfish. Because let me tell you something. In this position, I'm playing bishop f7, bishop g8. And if he doesn't want his rook trapped, he's going to move it out. And then I'm going to make a queen and win the rook. I mean, there's just no reason. I'm very curious. Is there a way to turn on an engine? Is there a way to turn on an engine when you're in a study and cheat? I don't see it. Pawn up. That is stupid. What in the world? Like I said, this to me is just like such an easy plan. It probably... Dude, Branson's coming, guys. Branson's coming, but you know what I'm going to do? When you care about chess, guys, when you care, this is totally worth it. Train analysis. Okay, I'm going to do it like this. Do it like this. Wait. Want to bring this window to the other side of the world. And your... Did you guys get your board or no? It's stuck on that... It's stuck on that board. Play online. It's still stuck on the other board, man. I want that position so bad, guys. Let me set it up. Train analysis. Let me set it up, then I'll close that lead chess board. Set a position. Clear the board. You guys can't see anything right now, but it's only going to take me a second to set this up. Rook. White pawn. White bishop. White rook. White king. Couple pawns. Couple 2 pawns. You shouldn't have... It should stay on the pawn. Okay, wait. I'm gonna show you. You guys are gonna see the position right now, and we're gonna have an engine though, and we're gonna see how I could win that against Stockfish doing it my way in much faster time. Much faster time. That's another thing to consider too, right? Is time. This looks like the position. Okay, so now I'm gonna close. Oh, and who to move? Yeah. It's white to move. White to move. Okay, I'm gonna. You guys are gonna get your board now. Let me see. Chess.com. Play online. Bang! There we go. And there's our position. And it's white to move and load. Okay. Stockfish wants this rook h6 move. What about this move? King d8. What about this move? King c8. It's mate in 10. And after rook up, it's mate in 12. It's still thinking. But you understand this is like, this is just, his rook can't move. A4, just stop it. A3, those are the best moves. Now I can do anything. I can do anything. The rook can move. I can just bring the king up. I could just bring the king up and make this pawn, and the king comes over here. We could probably checkmate it. It's like it's over. The game's over. We're already up. Here's the thing. We're already up 3 pawns and a piece, right? That's dumb. But that's a good thing to learn for you lower rated players. Daniel's, he says, holy smokes, Charlie. Holy smokes, what? You see this idea, Daniel, right? It's the first thing I saw. And it, like I said, if he moves the rook to not let it get trapped, we just make a queen. Takes. So, I mean, it's already over. It's already over. But this right here just, to me, is a huge threat, and it stops everything. I mean, like, you just do this. Now his rook can't even play. It's like tying someone's arm behind their back. Because the arm is still there. You know what I'm saying? When your arm is tied behind your back, the arm's still there. You just can't use it. And that rook is still there. You just can't use it. One sec, grab my water. Guys, you think Irina Crusher's going to come back, guys? She said she was going to come back. She didn't come back that day, but you think she's going to come back? She might come back. Were you guys all there for that? Irina Crush came into chat, guys. I checked; it was really her because it's a Twitch account, so you click on it and it's her page. That was crazy, man. That was so cool. That was really fun. I've had Nemo and Irina Crush come into my streams. I would think Eric might drop by and say hi one time. Eric? Well, he's not a sub, so he can't see this video. With Daniel-san, when you said, holy smokes, what? Was it about a move or something? What was it? Daniel, if you learn anything, learn the idea I just gave you. Because even though Stockfish claims that this is the best move, just lock his rook. Just lock it, man. You, Daniel, you beat Stockfish every time, unless you stalemate. From this position, you do. Is there a practice against computer? I think I would have had practice against computer back in the setup position. Edit, add games, practice versus computer. Watch me beat Stockfish in this position with my strat. It's over. I beat Magnus. I beat Stockfish. Stockfish could be rated 20,000. Oh my god, I thought it was a stalemate. I thought it was a stalemate. It's not. And it's over. And is he? Why didn't he take the pawn? Is he doing that for stalemate opportunities? Okay, he took it now. Now we begin the procedure. That's stalemate. Rook here is stalemate, guys. Okay. So I'm going to lock him to the end of the board. Dude, he tried to Dude, rook G7 is stalemate. I almost stalemated. I was talking smack to Stockfish. We just go this way. It doesn't work. That's a check, so that's good. Oh, I should come here. Yeah, and then just come here. Hey, I just beat Stockfish. That's how bad it is. By trapping his rook. You also have a great game on lead chess on converting winning positions. That would be good to review. My game against Derpy was very instructional. Chess Chillers tournament, July 1st. Let's look at that one, Branson. Let's look at that one. Let's look at that one. Let's look at the Derpy game. Toasty Cheese It! Yeah, we're watching McGregor tonight. Toasty Cheese It, do you want to look at one of your games? And it's, your name is literally just the GOAT Doc. Like, and there's no, it's not the GOAT Doc 8732 because 8731 was already taken. His game against Derpy. It's a rapid game, right? The GOAT Doc, the GOAT, okay. Looking. Toasty Cheese It. Type your name exactly how it appears on chess.com if you want to, Oh, wait. I just want to... Today's what? Saturday? Okay, so I got to go back a little ways. Dude, look at all the 5-5 he's playing, man. Love to see you playing chess, brother. Get them reps in, man. A lot of chess is good, especially at your level. I didn't pass it, did I? Well, July 2, yeah, so this, go ahead, man, just not the last one. I was having some festivities. Feel you, Toasty. I get it. How come I'm not seeing the Derpy game? I mean, I could go to community, clubs, chillers, and just find it. Chess Chillers, and go to club events. His game Derby from the tournament, so I'm guessing that means the last tournament. I don't think Derby played this tournament. Is it the tournament before? Yeah, I don't see you here either. Dude, we're starting to get more players in the tournament, man. You guys saw that guy too. We had that guy there's that new guy that said he's a chess.com partner and he's part of a Discord, and he can like he can kind of expedite the banning process. I'm having not this week, July 1st. July 1st, okay. The goat doc, right? Versus Derpy Moose. Hey, I found you, brother. I found it. Okay, let's get a little game review up real quick, get an idea what's going on here. English chess masters were recruited as code breakers in World War II. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Okay, 76% accuracy by you. Oh, wow. Yeah, you blundered at the beginning and you freaking hung in and made it hard for him. You played like a 1450. He played like a 1300. He played a good game. But it says you had no blunders. How do you get... You just played a whole bunch of inaccuracies? Yeah, you played 5 inaccuracies and got a bad position is what this says. Okay, let's go. Start the review and get to the opening book. E4, E6. Do you have a line, Branson? At your level, do you already like have a line for the French defense? Something you're aiming for? E5, advance. C4, bishop check. Is this a plan or is this just you going? This is your good bishop. I don't know that it's not the yeah, after E5, black is better. It wants D4. Knight F3 because it helps castle, or D4 because it helps develop, claims a fair share of the center. E5 looks just like a bad, almost like a bad version of the advance, but maybe it's going to transpose. The bishop check is not even on the list. It wants knight F3. This knight is probably going to have to move somewhere if it gets kicked. Bishop check. Yeah. Yeah, so still working on your French openings. Cool. Cool. Yeah. It looks like it, but that's good. Okay, D4. Love it. Takes. Queen check. C3, and you give a knight. And that's not a blunder. This is not a blunder? Well, I mean, because I guess it's okay. I just don't understand why it's not a blunder. It said that you didn't make any blunders. But I'm thinking, allowing bishop... I would think this is a blunder. It loses like a pawn and a half. You know what I'm saying? And you can just play knight c3. If takes, you play queen takes. He comes with time. That's fine. You just come back somewhere. It wants queen d2 because it's weird. But, yeah, okay. So we'll see your fight back. A4. It's probably going to be Stockfish move, too. Watch it. A4, best move. Crazy. It's a blunder even if Stockfish doesn't say it. Yeah. It was just bad. With your pawn on e5, Branson, and where it's going to need to be defended, so if you even play f4 or d4, which is very common French stuff, what is your good bishop and your bad bishop? Dude, this bishop goes on d3. This bishop gets traded off if it can. His light squared bishop, they literally call it the French bishop. Everyone knows what it means. It's horrible in this position. Your bad bishop at least is looking at the king side, right? His bad bishop is just stuck over here, man. It's bad. It's bad. A lot of times what they'll do is they'll do things like b6, say like d4, and they'll play bishop a6 to trade it. And trading this bishop, his bad bishop, for your good bishop benefits black. I think you understand the theory, but the theme, but you need to start looking in your games and saying, do I want to trade off my good bishop? I already know. For me, if black's playing a dragon or something, and he's got a g6 and a bishop on g7, usually, almost always, you want to keep this bishop, right? And white usually, almost always, wants to keep this bishop, because I want to trade the dark bishop for the dark bishop in a dragon, right? And so the more you learn your openings, you'll just know what your good bishop is without looking, because I'm playing in advanced French. This is my good bishop. You know what I'm saying? You'll know. But until you know, you got to know the worst bishop on the board by far is this one. And you help trade it off. You help trade it off. And so did you blunder this? Or did you think that this pin was going to be a problem? I'm not sure. It's the queen. It wants queen d2. I think queen a4 might even be more reasonable, because it doesn't block. They both kind of suck. Queen d2 blocks your bishop, and queen a4 puts your knight on the rim. Yeah. Well, but it breaks the pin too, and you're going to get knight f3 in castles. That, like, you should be freaking out about this. That your queen is moving all over the board and you're not castled yet. d4, knight c to e2, bishop b4, c3 takes, pawn takes. Yep. Rook d8 hitting the queen, queen c2, 1000%. Knight d4. Knight e4. Oh, you can't take that way. And it hits the queen. This is crazy. This is just crazy talk, mate. And how is all this happening? All because you did that. All because you went for that. Like in this position, knight f3. And I as I say knight, I'm like, in this position, knight f3 is what I want to say, and I look at it, says knight f3. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in this position, knight f3. Guys, I learn from these things too, because these workshops, because I'm very often saying like, just knight f3, and I look and Stockfish says, you're right. Or Stockfish says, Charlie, you're a numbskull. You thought your knight was lost and didn't see bringing the knight back to block the check. Got you. And so from there, a4 is a funny move, because here's the thing: develop pieces, not pawns. Stockfish's second favorite move, besides a4, is knight e2, so you can castle. What's wrong? It doesn't like queen e2 at all. It doesn't want to trade. But this is the best move. Queen back. Why does the queen go there? It's a bad move by your opponent. What wants to go on c6? His knight. Attacking the pawn chain. The knight goes here in a French. It's to put pressure on d4. It's the whole idea of the game. You also want to get a knight. You can get a knight to f5 too. You can play knight e7 to f5. Like normal. Yeah, you come back here. Let's say bang, pressure, castles, bing. Let's say bishop comes. See all the pressure, and that's why often the black queen comes to b6. Pressure. So that's like just structure stuff in the French. a4 wasn't a bad move, but queen c7, queen c6 is just not a move, man. I mean, it's a second best move, but it's dumb. Okay, you play knight f3. It's funny. It wants knight e2. Why on knight f3 does he play like this move or something? Nope. cd4. You normally would take this way because you want to reinforce the pawn, but Stockfish is like in knight takes. Okay, so where are we? Okay, yeah. Good. The guy played the maneuver. Knight e7, knight f5. Bishop f4. Bishop e7. Rook e1. Castles. Rook e2. Is it on the list? It's not. You know what Stockfish wants? One move you can play here is g4. And I was thinking about g4 too. Here's the reason. His queen is locked out of the king side. It's locked out. And if your bishop was on d3 and his black bishop was over here, this bishop would also be locked out of the king side. And your white bishop would be attacking his king side. Look at his queen. His queen is might as well not even exist at this school. So you can play this move and you can follow it up with more stuff. Knight h6. King h1. Saying, yeah, dude, go for it. Go for it. So rook e2. I'm not sure the idea behind rook e2. Do you have an idea? Hey, Kirby, how you doing, man? You played a French, Kirby? Both of our people here. This guy, Derpy Moose, this is from the tournament. And Derpy Moose is 1350. But the guy who's here right now is Branson. He's on Facebook chat. And he is the GOAT Doc. And he's rated 890. And he dropped a piece. And he came back and won. And they both are kind of not getting the ideas in the French. Yeah, it wants... This defends the pawn. It does. I don't understand this move. Branson, do you have any explanation for rook e2? Like rook c1. The pawn's protected. You can play b3 if you have to later. But now if he takes you're getting file time. You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand it unless you. I just don't understand that move. You wanted to lift it where? Like here maybe or something. And I'm not trying to attack you or give you a hard time. I'm trying to find out your thought process behind that move so we can figure out like what's a way better move here? What's a way better move here? Oh, well, wait. What's a way better move here? Even if you would play b3 now. Even if you play b3 now, I would understand maybe because you want to bring a rook or something. I don't know. Is h3 even a move? No. It wants the crazy. It wants the crazy. It wants this bishop to come back. It wants b4. b4 is kind of cool because it kind of tries to resolve stuff. Does not lose a pawn though. b4, cb4. g4. Knight h4. Takes, but let me see the idea why. Oh, and that's all. And you played g4 just to trade the knight so the bishop couldn't take back. That's Stockfish. Stockfish is pretty deep, man. Pretty deep. There is no lift. His knight is blocking the square for my rook. Rook e2 was a bad move. Yeah. Yeah, right. I see what you're saying. So you wanted to lift, but you couldn't lift, so you said, well, I'll just go to e2 instead. I get it. Yeah. You're fine. You're doing great, brother. Okay, so you want to connect the rooks. Queen d3 maybe? Well, that drops a pawn. Not really, not yet. Okay. Takes. Cool. There's a backward pawn here, but I think he can get c5 in. And then that's going to then weaken this pawn, even though it's protected very well. Rook comes up. g4. Wow, you played g4 now. Love it. Which is h3. What do you play? h3, g5, h3. Stockfish says h3. Let's see what you did. You played g5. The knight comes back to f5. H4 is at the top of the list. Good move. Yeah, if you wanted to... This is the weakness. Like I said, though, he can push it, I think, at any time. But if you wanted to do the double stack, if you want to stack... Because you played Rook C3. Oh, you played Rook C3 to bring it... To lift it. Again, you weren't even necessarily looking at the C file, right? Because, like... You know, if you had another pawn here or something, this pawn can never push, and it's a backward pawn on a semi-open file. You understand that. So you would be wanting to put pressure on this square, and eventually on this pawn. It's like there's a structure thing. So if you wanted to get the lift, you could have maybe moved the knight, and then brought the rook. You know what I'm saying? There could have been some ideas with that. So this guy ruined your lift aspirations twice. Okay. HG6, after it thinks for a long time, it likes it. Okay. And then... Okay, you play the knight back. It looks like you're going to be rerouting to one of these squares, which is probably a pretty good idea, but what do you leave behind? Worse, even worse than the fact that you're losing your D pawn. It also weakens your... Now your E pawn is weakened. It's going to be hard to hold on to that pawn. You came back. He took with the pawn. Queen G4, love it. He's saying, hey, I'm down a piece. I'm attacking. The rook comes up. And I'll tell you something that Geary said too. Here's something Geary said. He said, like, if you sack a pawn or you sack a piece, he's I'll sack another one. He said, like, it doesn't matter. You're already losing. Material-wise. You might be winning on the board, but, like, don't be afraid to sack more material. You know what I'm saying? It's very simple concept. And Geary said it with his mouth. And Anish is smart. It takes a whole move for him to take a free pawn. Okay, he brings the rook. That's kind of sad. Yeah, and he's just going to rip it. Knight. Okay, he brings the knight back. Oh, knight check. Oh, man. I'm looking at this knight check because it covers a square. King F8. Now he's threatening. Now you're threatening mate. No, that's -11. There's a better move. Oh no, the queen. The knight. The knight. I didn't see it. I didn't see it. It wasn't my game. I didn't see it. Okay, yeah. So, but it likes Queen H4, which is a little weird to me. But this check, at least, is a check. King F8, and then what? And it just wants to come back in here, I guess. Guys, I didn't see knight takes, man. That's crazy. It's a knight on G7, guys. There's never a knight on G7. Knight takes, pawn takes. Now you have a protected pass pawn, and you have a square to mate your opponent. So let's see what happens. The knight comes, and all of a sudden, white is winning with my move. Queen E6 check. Except you didn't drop your queen. You waited till it worked. So you did better than me. Yeah. Yeah, and then you have all kinds of ideas like, what? Oh, the bishop check. Oh my God. Dude. I'll tell you this, man. You played the opening pretty bad because you said you didn't understand it. You know, you're still working on playing against the French. That's fine. You played it pretty bad. Based on just when we talk about good bishops and bad bishops, your center pawns are... This one's already here, and your other center pawn's going to be on this square. This is where the basic opening principles help you more than memorizing moves. I'm not saying you memorize moves. You should memorize moves. We have to memorize openings, guys. We have to. That's part of the game, and it's a beautiful part of the game. But you made a strategic mistake by trading off. Even worse than getting rid of your good attacking bishop, you traded off the worst piece on the board, the French bishop. You could have made it with the pawn too, huh? That's great. And then you fought back like a lion. I'll tell you what you did that showed a pretty good awareness was being down a piece and trying to attack his king. And trying to keep some pieces on if you could. You traded off there, but boy, but you're coming in now. It's still -6. He's not getting mated. All he has to do is almost anything. Queen C3. What do you play? Queen A6. Queen check. King G2. Queen D. Knight F5. Stopping the mate, and this knight is untouchable. It can't be kicked by a pawn, and you have no light squared bishop and no knight. So this knight is always going to keep this mate at bay. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's brutal. Now he just has nothing. Yeah, F7. I literally was looking at F7. F7 is like, okay, king takes, check, and at least white's getting in to try and get some perpetual. Knight G7. If he comes for the knight, what do you have? Queen E4 check. Oh, you just take on E5. King G1. Just take. He also had bishop back. Yeah, so I wanted to just look at this and see like the easy way for black to just win from here, right? Because it's stockfish. Man, this is gold. Yeah, so and then wait, so yeah. You played a bad opening, and then you had a plan in the middle game, which is better than no plan. And a lot of people rated 800 don't always have a plan. They're just kind of shuffling pieces around to see if they win or not. You know what I'm saying? You understood the severity of the situation. That's higher level thinking, okay? And then you saw, I mean, okay, you realized this is a pretty important move. I'm losing. He gave me, and he made a blunder. It's like, what's the line they said? Make 10 threats, and your opponent will eventually miss one of them. He'll blunder. He moved his knight, and then you get the crisscross applesauce. Yeah, you could have played mate this way too. Always mate with the pawn, dude. It's funnier. Toasty Cheese It. Okay, we're gonna go Toasty Cheese It's game now. Toasty Cheese It. Toasty Cheese It. Just not the last one. He said anything except the last one. Okay, the last one is oh, you've been playing today. The last one you won though. Maybe not the last, that one. Okay, yeah. So right here. And dude, you know what I love about these games? Dude, you played a game. Oh, that was a 5-move game. The guy played 95% accuracy. This is a perfect game right here to look at. I'm like, what is that game? You had a guy played 95% accuracy. It was 5-move game. Yeah, Branson. Yeah, and you know what sucks, dude? I bought a book. I don't remember the name of the book. I feel like I bought a book. Yeah, I remember the book now. I remember the color and the way, the look of the book. And it was how to play the Winawar. It's probably pronounced Vinavar or something, right? But E4, E6, D4, D5, Knight C3, Bishop B4. And I had to, and then I read the book and learned a bunch of stuff. And I had a line then for Bishop B4. I remember studying this so much, and when I came back to chess, my opponents just keep they just keep attacking C5, and I end up losing. It's like I need to go back and understand how to do it again, right? Yeah, but if you need to learn how to play against the French, just go watch a couple videos. I know there's a million videos to watch, though, right? Okay, so e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4. Love it. Very Italiano, Italian game. d3 is a bishop's opening. It's like Italian game, modern bishop's opening is what it's going to say. Italian game, 2 knights, modern bishop's opening. I forgot 2 knights. Modern bishop's opening. Okay, now, in this position, I think you could play c3, castles, knight bd2. You castled. Let's look at the opening. Bishop c5. Yeah. The number one move in this position, believe it or not, is c3. It's I watch Hans and Fabiano games, and so what's great about this, Toasty Cheese It, you are playing an opening that you will see. Oh wait, let me get the review up. How did I not get the review up? That's dumb. We got to get the review up. 74% accuracy by you, and your opponent, almost 100 points lower than you, played with 85% accuracy. He played pretty good. You played like 1,050. He played like a 1,250. You both played a decent game. No blunders, no misses. You're rated 556, and your opponent is rated 476. Yeah, your opponent is severely underrated. Your opponent, well, he has 5 inaccuracies and you had 6, but he has 0 mistakes, 0 misses, and 0 blunders. That's just crazy, Toasty Cheese It. Good players down here, man. Yeah, this guy that you're playing, is this somebody you know? Or this is just from the pool? So, in playing a this opening that you're playing, you are in great company with people like Fabiano versus Magnus Carlsen. Fabiano plays this as white against Magnus. And you can go look at those games and get ideas. They all play C3. Most of them play C3 here. A lot of them castle. As a matter of fact, we still have Fabiano Magnus. Fabiano versus Ding. Freaking Fabi versus Anish. Gukesh. Vidit. Ding Loren plays this against Gukesh. These are all beautiful, beautiful people to draw inspiration from. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. This is good. Okay, D6. Knight c3. Now, there's something... Knight c3 is a good move, but I'm going to tell you why no one plays knight c3. Moves here are c3, rook e1, a4. You know why? If he tries to take your bishop, you get to keep it. Okay? A3, same thing. You save the bishop. Okay? The reason this was explained to me in by a grandmaster, I don't remember who, but they said that people don't play knight c3 here because, like, in this position, it's like plus 0.2, right? About a fifth of a pawn. White is better. White has the opening advantage. As soon as you do this, it's equal. It's minus 0.04. It's still basically equal, but black's a 20th of a pawn better. This knight doesn't come here because, not for any reason, at your level, Toasty Cheese It, you can play this move. It's not going to be because the reason why Fabiano doesn't play this move is not because it's a bad move. It's because it's not by far slightly, minutely worse than playing c3, rook e1, a4, a3. And the reason is because these positions at the grandmaster level, not at our level, they don't lead to much. They don't lead to much. It's like and Stockfish is You know, it's saying after knight a5, black is minutely slightly better, and after like something simple like a6 or something, it's like a6. I thought it was a zeros though. Okay, so knight a5 is maybe zeros. This so if you want to play like Magnus Carlsen, I mean like Fabi against Magnus. In these positions, you play a4, you play c3, because the idea of this opening is to play this move, is to play d4. And then the knight comes to this square, because I'm going to show you the idea. I'm going to show you the ideas behind this opening, okay? This is going to be awesome for you and for everyone else if you play this. Let's say we play a4. Wait. Let's say we play a4 to save the bishop. Okay. A5. Okay. After rook e1, and then your idea is knight d2 to f1, because you're looking at this square for the knight. Dead serious. Dead serious. Like, what you know what we can do? Can I open one of these in a new window? Watch Fabi. Watch Fabi. Okay. That's to say, this a4, it stops b5. a4 stops b5. And also now, if the knight comes, he doesn't get the bishop. Okay? h3. Bishop e3 developing. Takes. Takes. Knight bd2. And at some point, I'm sure Fabi's going to play for this. Okay, this has, the whole structure has changed, and the whole thing has changed here. So that's fine. How do I get back to my game? Close that one. How do I get back to my game? I can go back like this. Yeah. So, but the ideas are going to be castles. The knight comes rook e1. Castles, knight bd2. These are the maneuvers, okay? a4. Oh yeah. A lot of times you play c3, and then you play b4 and h4. Then they try and save the bishop, because you're going to trap it. Then the knight has to go somewhere. He comes back. But this is a very, very common maneuver here too, because you got c3 in, so you can play b4 and a4 for free, because the bishop's here. You chase it, right? Those are common ideas. What did Daniel say? Yeah, this was from the pool. Okay. Chess is such a beautiful game. Great job playing a 30-minute game, too. Great for using your brain. Oh, yeah, Toasted Cheez-It. Exactly, dude. Toasted Cheez-It uses 30-minute games with Branson. Branson is actively working on improving his chess, guys. Were you taking exact like one-on-ones from Dina, or was it like a group, some group lesson stuff from Dina? What? I'm curious about that. I mean, if you don't mind telling us, Branson. Oh, okay, wait. So anyway, let's get back on your game. Okay. So bishop. So you could play knight c3, Toasted Cheez-It. You developed a piece controlling d5. You could pin and then bring the knight. Yeah. I told you the reason why, because grandmasters don't feel like they're getting as much from it. That's all. That's the only reason. But if you want to play like Magnus, I mean like Fabi, then you can learn a couple more things. Yep, now knight d5. The whole point of giving the bishop for the knight is because the knight gets to come to the best square on the board for free, and he has to come back, or else you get the fork, and now it's your move again. You know what I'm saying? And your threat was to play knight d5 now, and his bishop can't save it. Then you could mess his pawns up if you want, right? So takes, knight d5, man. Knight d5. H3 is a move. It's the fourth best move. It's about a pawn worse, because now he messes your pawns up. And your knight doesn't come to d5 with well, it kind of comes with tempo because you're going to be hitting c7, right? Like, but after takes, you kind of have to let him do this because you don't want to take and leave your queen stuck back here. And his queen, and he can attack you with stuff. Knight d4, knight b5, you take me, I take you. You're playing chess. Yeah, but you should see knight d5 here. You should see knight d5 here. Because if you trade, at the end you get the fork. Right? So he has to come back. Oh yeah, but not knight d5. You trade. Okay, h3, takes. Knight d4 attacking. Oh, so this is the game. And you played knight d5. Dude, this is crazy. You played knight d5 instead of knight b5. I love it. He castles. Bring a rook to defend, right? And then you can kick the knight after next move. Oh, he gets a pawn. Okay, but it's a double pawn. Not the end of the world. He kicks your knight. You can check and head to f5 if you need to. Takes. Rook over. c3. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't appear to be a bad move. e5. Now your bishop. Now, did you need to counterattack? Bishop b3. You just come back. Just come back. This, I mean, the only other reasonable move is well, d4 or b4. It actually likes d4 better. But you counterattacked. No, bishop b3. And you have so much time. Francis, I got my rapper rating to 1498 on Lead Chess. I'm working my way up to chess.com. You have private coaching from Dina in addition to group classes. Dude, Branson, that's awesome, dude. That is awesome. Yeah, so Toasty, beat her, Charlie, put her in timeout. Dina's getting really strong. That's freaking amazing. Is she? Is she improving? Is her rating going up? Yeah, you I don't understand what like you hallucinated. You must have hallucinated that this bishop, something's wrong with this bishop. Because you just come back, Toasty. Josh, what's up, dude? Because he sacks... Toasty, my brother. We kind of need to maintain material balance. His king is in the middle of the board, but there's no pieces to attack it. If there was a queen over here somewhere and a knight that could hop in with a check and this pawn was under attack, then maybe ripping the middle open is a sacrifice. But you gotta have firepower. You think you wanted the open file. It doesn't open a file. He could just, can't he just... Oh yeah, because he can take with check. But he could just play e4. And there's no, my point is there's no open file. I mean, you might be able to push this pawn and get this file, pry this open eventually. But yeah. It's not worth the piece. It's not worth the piece. You're gonna improve so fast. You need to remember, like, you just can't sack a bishop for nothing. It's too important. You know what I'm saying? If you see a concrete line to where you know you're going to get the material back, or he's going to be getting checkmated, or he's really going to be getting crushed, even if you can't see the end, like Mikhail Tal. But in order for your spidey senses to kick in to sack a bishop for a pawn, you gotta have a little bit more than this, and you'll be fine. Okay. Yeah, he's coming after your pawns. He's up a freaking bishop, so it's just, yeah. Yeah, and it's over. Good. That's a great resignation, man. Great resignation. Josh, did you want to look at a game? Did we ever look at our game that we played in the tournament, Josh? 1 second. Sorry, I heard I heard like a little honk outside, like someone pulled up or something. She plays over the board tournaments almost every week. Branson, let me tell you something, dude. Like club tournaments. If you guys can find a chess club in your area, you can go play over the board. They have over the board tournaments. They'll have like a summer Swiss, and you play one classical game per week. And here's the beauty of it. When I was in LA, because LA had a pretty vibrant chess scene. New York is bigger. New York was better. Of course, now Charlotte and St. Louis are the places to be. And Branson's lucky that he's near Charlotte. But you could go play a classical game of chess on Monday night at one club, and you'll be playing like a 5-round tournament that goes 5 weeks. When one tournament ends, they start another one. Like there's just classical tournament chess going on all the time at these clubs, right? And then you go to another club on Tuesday night and play that tournament. And then so you could literally play classical chess anywhere from 3 to 5 days a week. Nice, relaxing 2 to 4 hour game. And that's how all the grandmasters got better at chess. And so, just when you said she plays over the board tournaments almost every week. Yeah. And you know what she probably does? She probably has a healthy, because she's a freaking women's grandmaster, right? She's a very strong player. She has a healthy mix of playing tournament chess and studying. Yeah. Yeah, but I used to play a lot. And then on Saturday and Sunday, you could go play a weekend tournament, a classical tournament. If there's a big tournament, you go play a big tournament. Maybe play 3 rounds Saturday and 2 rounds Sunday, 5-round tournament. You know, I bet there's been times I played 8 to 10 rated classical games in a week. I'm sure there's been. There's an over the board tournament, 2510 in West Palm Beach, playing it on Wednesday. Nice, Branson, nice. Yeah. Toasty Cheez-It. Yeah, man. Biggest takeaways for Toasty Cheez-It. Let me. Oh, yeah. Love the Italian game. You're playing like Fabiano. And if you want to continue, start playing C3 in this position or Rookie 1. And then the mistakes. Yeah, this move here. It's the best move. But the knight, and you force a queen back, and now it's your move again, and you can play ace 3 or c3. The idea of c3 then in castles, you play d4 here. No, it wants this idea first. b4, a4 is like the second best move there. a5, b5, knight comes back, and get rid of the bishop. Bada bing, bada bing, and you're just playing chess. So yeah, the great thing about the Italian too is there's going to be a whole bunch of videos on it. So you're in really good company. You're in really good company by playing the Italian game. And you should have seen here that also that if you play knight d5, you have to play queen d8. But here your king side gets messed up. You have weaknesses. He forks. As you get better, you will even see all the way back here. You'll see you need to play knight d5. Because otherwise, he's going to play knight d4 later and fork these 2 pawns. It's not that far off. You know what I'm saying? If you're playing a classical game, if you're playing a slow, nice game, or as you begin to calculate, you'll see it in a 30-minute game too. You'll see it because you have lots of time. You have lots of time. You're doing great, Toasty. You're doing great, and I love having you around, man. Because I see you getting better at chess, and I can feel your love for the game. And that's good. That's a good thing. I want people like you around me. People that care about chess and want to get better at chess. Well, look at this. The last rapid game he played. Did we look at the draw? Did we look at our draw on stream, Josh? Very curious. Look at that tournament, man. You freaking lost. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is, yeah. Oh no, these are different games. You lost to Ida, the freaking cheater, man. You don't think so? Well, let's look at it now. Let's go for it. And I think I'm going to make this one the last game. I always do these workshops as long as I can or until my throat starts to give, guys. And we're at 2.5 hours now. I start early, almost 2.5 hours, which is good, which is good, which is good. Game review, this is awesome. Josh, and Josh can give some opinions on what he's thinking, Kirby, if you're still watching, man, if you have any pointers, if there's anything that you see that's screaming out that can help a lower rated player, say it. Say it. Just say it, brother. It helps. Okay, 80% by me, 78 by you. I played like a 1900, you played like a 1800. We both played the opening great, the middle game, and the end game great. Isn't that crazy? I had 3 blunders, you had 1. I had 2 misses, you had 4. 4 mistakes by me, 3 by you. 4 inaccuracies by me, 7 by you. With all that weirdness, and I had 2 great moves, you didn't have any, and then no brilliance. No brilliance. Okay, start the game. Let's get the opening book up. E4. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, I gotta look at the opening for sure here too. Anyway, oh we can flip the board. We're gonna flip the board for you. Takes knight c3, queen a5. D4 is the move here. Knight f6, good move. Stockfish wants knight f3. Freaking computer wants knight f3. Second best is bishop c4. I played knight f3. Hey! Okay, top moves here. Bishop f5. In the master game, c6 is more common. And then bishop f5 is second. Bishop f5, great move. He understands his opening. I played bishop d2. Why? I don't know. And it's like the best move. It's torn between knight e5 and bishop d2, and I don't even completely understand why. Oh no, bishop d2 is just because it makes a threat. You think I was a bit distracted in the opening? Oh really? Like when the oh, Toshi Cheesy, you were so welcome, dude. On stream, you mean? Okay, bishop d2. I shouldn't let that happen when I'm playing someone as tough as you. Knight d7. Computer wants c6 so bad. And so do the masters. They want c6 or e6. Because e6 plans to develop, right? You play knight bd7. It is, however, Stockfish's third or fourth move. It's bouncing back and forth, and it's the third best move in the database among the masters. Bishop c4, is that the move? Bishop c4, I played it, dude. I'm pretty proud of the way that I'm starting to just kind of play this a little bit better. Queen e2 is the #1 move. Oh my god, and castle long. I want to do that. I want to go back and play this again. I just castled. It's 5th best. Darn it. Queen e2. And castle long, guys. Queen c7 stepping out. And then just castles. And I get to castle long. This is one of the rare instances. Knight h4 hitting the bishop. Bishop g6. It's like it doesn't want to take it yet. It doesn't need to. I can just kind of come back and chill. Bishop d6. So where's your king going? Is your king in a castle queenside? Takes. A3, g3, king b1. It's very interesting, very interesting. I had queen e2. When I say I had it, I would love to play queen e2 and castle queenside, but I think it's probably bad, but it wasn't. It wasn't. So I castle. You played e6, great move. What are masters playing? Yeah, queen c7, queen... Oh, no, yeah, e6. E6, man. Okay, and dude, like, who plays this? There's a lot of games, but we're slumming with the 2500s. Oh, there's a 2800 playing a white here. Whoa. Okay, so Queen C7. Oh, wow. So you did play Queen C7. Good move. Good move. Oh, we got to go back to we're on Explorer. Yeah. And you castled. Dude, #1 move in the database. That's crazy. You like castle long when I'm in danger. Interesting, Daniel. You feel like you get further away or something? Dude, it's so crazy to me, too. Well, there's 3 people watching on YouTube, but no one... There's not something wrong with the chat, is there? I don't think there's anything wrong with the chat on YouTube. If someone's watching on YouTube, please say hey. Please say hey, just so I know. Because not a person has said anything on YouTube since we started. And I have a lot of members. But I think maybe some of the members on YouTube might be more of the Elden Ring group. I don't know. No, because there's so many of the new subs on YouTube are chess people. The chess is growing on YouTube like crazy, guys. Jay Cook, yo, what's up, brother? Bishop D6. Is that the maneuver? Explorer. Well, I think we're out of the opening anyway. Bishop D6 is good. Yeah. B4. Knight D5. Knight E4. Man, my throat. You felt like I might have had D5. B4 was dumb and I knew it. It's like the second best move, third best move. Bishop D3, because bishop is biting granite, right? So bishop D3 is not a bad move either. Because your bishop is doing more than my bishop is biting the granite. You feel like I might have had D5 at some point. Yeah, I see what you're saying. B4. Knight comes. Knight E4. That's what I played. Very good. Stockfish move. Takes. Queen takes. Your best move is H5. You play Knight F6. It's not bad. Second best move. Queen D3, Queen E2. Both are fine. You played King B1 or King B8. It is third best. It wants to start softening my king side. Knight F4. Hit the queen. If you get, if I take, you get the bishop. You know what I'm saying? And you played Knight F4. Yeah, great move, dude. Knight F4. And taking is best? No, it's not. Wow. Queen F1. But how do you find Queen F1, man? I mean, I'm trying to play chess over here, not freaking, not hide the queen. You know? Jay Cook, how you doing today, brother? Takes. Bishop D3. H6. H6. It wants G5. You could just play G5 here. Because it's protected, and then you can play G4. And you say, but what about this? Well, you just come back. You can get the pawn, but I made a weakness. If you snack the pawn, you attack. Oh, this might even be winning with the rook check or something. This is it looks scary. You know what I'm saying? Knight F3, Knight H5. Look at all the stuff on this square, man. And then he has to block. He has to shut it down. Very interesting. Okay. G5. You got G5, but you see that, Josh? You didn't have to play H6. You could have just played G5. G3 looked like you might win a pawn. You consider G5? Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah, you saw this. Bishop D6. What is the cha-ching? What is the cha-ching? Another? Branson, you sent me another one? Is that all the same one? I don't... Let me look. Branson, did you hit that? Did you hit the send button twice again, brother? Thank you, Branson. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I understand me. Okay, there we go. Yeah, man. Branson said 25 and another 25. Branson, thank you so much for the kind help. For the support, dude. You're a beast. Yeah, thank you, dude. Thank you so much. Yeah, G3 look. Yeah. Because, but then, like, okay, Stockfish wants 95. If Knight G5, Bishop G3. F G3, Queen G3, and you see it happening now, right? You're losing the knight. If here takes, and a rook. You can't save the knight. Yeah. So you're right. You're right. And if it was a 4-hour game or a much longer game, you might have realized that I say you're losing the knight, I'm losing the knight. Yeah, taking that pawn is not a good idea. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I see it now too. I didn't see it. I saw it once we got close to it. Jay Cook says, yeah, mate, cruising along. I go back to work tomorrow. Been 9 or so weeks since I broke my hip. Back to reality, you know, dude, Jay, I love you, brother, and I'm glad to hear. What a freaking, what a journey, man. 9 weeks, guys. Jay Cook broke his freaking hip. 9 weeks ago, man. What is that picture I'm looking at? Are you skydiving? Are you a thrill seeker or something? Did you break your hip skydiving? I would say that you got lucky. If you break your hip when you're skydiving, oh, my 4-hour game would wreck me. A 4-hour game would wreck me. You know, the thing is, you think you don't know what to look at. You wouldn't know what to look at, but the more you do it, and then the more you study your games, and when you pay money and drive somewhere and sit there for 4 hours, you find some to look at because you don't want to lose, because your rating points, you could lose them fast and they come back slow because you gotta wait. So okay, well, so where are we then? Okay, G3. I played G3 anyway, it's funny. Okay, C3. Is C3 a maneuver here? Yeah, it's like 5th best move. I should be playing B5. B5 and start attack king. CB5, AB5. There's a file. C4 is looking really cool. C4. So I played C3. That's dumb. G4. Best move. Takes. King G2. 95 is the 4th best move. King G2 is better. Reinforcing the knight. It wants me to play knight G4. And then start stopping the bleeding, contesting. I played back hitting the bishop. I think I felt pretty good about this move because, but then do you sack? No. Yeah, you do sack and you're winning. Why does it win this time? If takes. Queen takes Queen G2. D3's hanging. So you had a shot here, Josh. You had a shot right here. You had a shot because D3 gets hanging. I'm surprised it wasn't hanging earlier. But either way. Yeah, no, me neither, man. Me neither. Checks, captures. Okay, knight, bishop E4. It wants bishop E4. Bishop E4 is great because it covers a square. It also starts looking at stuff, I guess. After G4, I could really be softening up. I brought the knight to trade. Okay, comes back. Oh, wait. No, we weren't there yet. Okay, now the knight comes. Bishop f6. Takes. The rook comes. You want that g3 square so bad. King g2 and I'm better. This is not as good of a move. I'm trying to defend the square. You're trying to put the world on it. Comes back. Queen up. Oh man, comes back. And I guess I had rook f3. I'm trading queens, but I'm losing exchange. I don't know. And you can't... Oh, I'm threatening the rook. Okay, I didn't even see. I'm like... I'm giving up an exchange. I'm not. Because I'm threatening the rook. But you take and I take. Right. Come back. Okay. Check. King f3. Yeah. Was a check the move. a5 is an idea. It's a kind of, I guess, what? I don't know what is what it wants. You have lateral. I say you. I think me because of me. But you have lateral defense with the rook. Some workings there with the rook looking across the board. King f3, king c7, stockfish move. It's like, it's a great move. Bishop e4. He wants rook e4. Okay. Rook h3. Yeah, I don't know what this does. Rook h1, because this is kind of protected, right? This is an idea, because if takes, and now you're back here. But if on rook h1, if you don't take, well, then now this rook is kind of stuck defending this other rook, right? I mean, yeah, I think we're at the point of micro advances now. Trying to add some pressure, right? Got you. Jay said, no, it's so weird. I've stacked dirt bikes a million times and had heaps of bad landings while skydiving and never hurt myself real bad. Next minute, I trip over at work on flat ground doing nothing and break my hip. Wow, dude. So bizarre. Maybe I'm getting old. Well, we're getting older, that's for sure, Jay. But I love the way that you're active. You're going to stay young. You got a good attitude. Yeah. Like, I just, walked my king. All the way here. And then I pushed this one. Trading. Opposite colored bishops. White has an advantage. I'm up a pawn. But... Oh, yeah. I gave up my advantage here. C5 check is better. King c7. Takes, because I can play this move, maybe? A5. Creating an outside pass pawn. Yep. Takes, and you can't come at it right away. King b7. Oh, a6 check. Interesting. Takes. This is a draw. So we'll just go a little bit further, but then yeah, I gave up my advantage with this move here. Bing. Bing. Okay, and we just once we got to that equal spot, no one made a mistake. Well, actually, right here. No, it's all just zeros, man. It's all zeros. That is so strange how you can see moves without playing, but when I am playing over the board, I get angry at people telling my opponent what to do or me. There aren't very many places like traditional chess clubs. I could see at a chess bar, maybe people saying moves when you're playing a game or something. You know what I'm saying? But no, man, even if you're playing casually, it would, at a chess club, playing speed chess or something, if someone standing there watching says, after the game, if they go like, dude, you had 95. What? 95. Fork and a king and a queen. Right after you played H3 and you go, oh, wow, I didn't see it. That's talking chess. If someone's saying moves while you're playing, it's just rude. You guys do it to me, but it's okay because that's why we're here. It's not rude. It's called chat, and that's okay. Yeah, Josh, that was pretty cool, man. When you're playing over the board, you get angry at people telling my opponent what to do. Yeah. What, and I mean, like, what is that though? Like maybe like you and your buddies or something are hanging out, and then like your buddy's playing you, and one of the other buddies tells him a move. Because that's pretty crappy, man. I mean, it's impossible to play against the world, right? I knew one guy that like he kind of annoyed me a little bit, where he wanted to like. I was telling him how I think this is a pretty good position, and he's like, "Well, let's play it out." And he would play, but every time he made a move, he'd take it back and be like, okay, keep going. You know, but what it was really doing was, it was like, can I take advantage of this good position? And he would kept doing takebacks, but I wasn't making any takebacks. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of annoyed me a little bit, but actually looking back on it now, it's like, what was I there for? Did I want to prove the position was good? Did I want to prove that I was right? Because I could have been wrong. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You're at a bar, I could see that being, you better just get ready for it, Daniel. But still, if people drink too much at the chess bar or a bar where they're playing chess and they lose chess decorum, you're at a bar. You're at a bar. Don't worry about it. But don't you be that guy. Don't you be that guy. We are at a higher level. Jay, do you have a game you want to look at, brother? Or do you want me to look at one of your games? Type your name exactly how it is on chess.com if you want to. Otherwise, I'm going to get out of here. And then this will definitely be the last one. But Jay, we're celebrating Jay's getting back to his life and 9 weeks healing, guys. You're old, but you're not that old because you healed in 9 weeks. Breaking a hip, sometimes people are done. They're just in bed for the rest of their freaking life when they break their hip. You know what I'm saying? Jay's not that old. 1 second. What should we make tonight? We're talking about steaks, but like maybe we're gonna probably maybe grill something. I think it rained a little bit, so it probably cooled off a little bit out there. We made chicken one time in the grill, and it came out real good, real nice. I think I'm kind of feeling steak though. Hopefully she's feeling steak too. Jay, are you around, brother? Do you want to look at one of your games? If you do, I got you. Is anyone? I wouldn't imagine you wouldn't be a subscriber on... You wouldn't pay for a sub on Facebook and then also pay for one on YouTube, or use your Prime on Twitch, which is so... dude, I'm telling you guys, we have 7 viewers right now. A lot of times on the chess stream we have 7 viewers. We've been averaging actually more than that, but the chess workshop, if I only did one platform... It should be on Twitch, but I do all 3 because everyone pays. No, it's okay. Got to start getting stuff ready for work. No, Jay, don't never say sorry to me, brother. It's okay. I'm sorry. I'm going to take off. Taper Mike said I saw a guy get warned once before getting his face split open for giving moves during a game. Yeah. That just shows the frustration that Daniel was getting. You know what I mean? Woo steak. What are you cooking on propane? Propane. Yeah, we just do it on the grill outside. Turn the propane on and go. Yeah, you too, man. And enjoy the Conor McGregor fight tonight if you watch it, Jay. If you have the Courtney has that Paramount Plus, man. And so now every time UFC comes, we have a date night. It's opened up like pretty much every UFC. Now, we have date nights anyway. And Saturday night is a pretty common night for me to go hang out with Courtney. But now it happens more. And we go buy a big fat steak, a couple of sides, and go back and just freaking... It's fun, man. We're doing that. We're doing that now. I got to get rolling. So you guys be safe and have a good time tonight. Thanks for being here. Most importantly, thank you guys for subscribing. I'm telling you, it's the most solid thing. The stars come and go. The donations today was huge. Branson with 25 and 25. Thank you, dude. Thank you so much. One time, Feeding Master David Bassett gave me $1,000 worth of stars. That's like 100,000 stars, guys. It's insane. It's insane. But that was one day. So that day I made like $1,100 in one day, right? Streaming. Other days, not so much. Not like that, right? But the subs, the gifteds move around a little bit, but the subs they give you some type of steady idea of what your income is going to be, which you couldn't do it if one day you made 1,000 and then you didn't make any money for 40 days. You'd be like, I don't know how much money I'm ever going to make. You couldn't buy a car because you wouldn't know if you'd be able to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? Supporting like you guys do it kind of levels it out, and it really makes it possible. I can't stress it enough. So thank you guys very much, man. Who wins the fight tonight? I got to tell you, I think McGregor's a pompous ass, but I don't have any special love for Holloway because I don't really know him. Max Holloway, when I got invited to that USC event in Vegas, Nick Merckx, the streamer, and Max Holloway were hosting it. Yeah. And I was going to be there sitting in the Meta Creators VIP section. Not even kidding, guys. Like, my guy tells me this at TwitchCon, and I get home. That was like Monday. No, it was like Sunday at TwitchCon when I leave. I get home like Monday, and then I'm talking to Courtney. Then by Tuesday, he tells me the fight's this weekend in Vegas. I'm like, great. He confirmed that Courtney could go. He got me a +1. They never give +1s. He said, okay, I got you your +1. My partner manager at Facebook. Real guy that works at Facebook. I like, it's crazy. The love we used to get from Facebook. And I'm like, Courtney, you got to go. This is once in a lifetime thing. You got to go. She said, okay, I'll go. So we buy tickets. We book hotel rooms. And like the next day I get COVID. And I had to cancel everything. God. So, I mean, so many people got worse things from COVID than that. So I shouldn't complain, right? But I'm telling you, I wanted to go so bad. I could have met Nick Merckx and Max Holloway. And I'd be like, then I probably would right now be rooting for Max Holloway. Oh my God, Toasty. Dude, I wasn't going to be sitting at the fight. It was like a watch party thing, right? But it was hosted by Nick Merckx and Max Holloway. And it was going to be a big screen. It was going to be a big screen. It was like was it at the Palms? I think it might have been at the Palms. Like at some kind of event center somewhere. And that would be, dude, who knows who I would have met there, man. Who knows who I could have met there. That was huge. Yeah, it burns like fire, man. But you know what? It's one of those things. I mean, every time I think about it, I get a little pain in my gut. Dude, and you guys know me, when I get sick with the plague, I get loopy. It happened on stream one time. It literally was hitting me while we were having a workshop. The first time I ever got COVID, we were having a workshop and I started feeling loopy. And I started not being able to like follow the stream and stuff. And I'm like, guys, I'm starting to feel weird. I'm feeling like loopy. I don't understand how to explain it. But and then I ended the workshop, and then I realized I got COVID, and the second time I got COVID, I felt it, and I'm like, I'm getting COVID. I feel it. That sucks. Dude, it was so hard too because I was loopy, and all of a sudden I had like a 103 fever or something, and I was loopy, and I'm trying to cancel the room as fast as possible because I'm afraid they're gonna be like, because it was like, dude, we were supposed to leave. Whatever timeline I just gave you might not have been right. We were supposed to leave like the next morning at like 10 a.m. I swear to God. And I had to go pick up my clothes because they were at the laundromat being laundered. And so I'm calling with 24 hours or less to check in, to cancel the rooms. And I'm like, they're going to be like, we have to charge you for the first night because it's less than 24 hours. They'd be like, okay, I get it. And I couldn't find, if I book through Expedia, then you got to cancel through Expedia. If I book through the hotel, I finally got a lady on the phone at the hotel that would help me. And she said, okay, I found you right here. Yes. She said, okay, so you want to cancel? I said, yes, I'm sick. I thank you so much. I'm so loopy. I can't even, which credit card did you put it on? I don't know. I start reading credit card numbers, trying to find it. She goes, okay, you're good. I canceled it. I said, okay, is there any kind of a penalty fee or something? She says, no, I waived that for you. You got sick. It's okay. Dude, I was like, thank you. Burning up with the freaking fever. So too dumb to freaking even think. Southwest was fine. They're like, okay, we'll just give you credit. I'm like, great. They just gave me credit. Just crazy, man. That was a crazy, crazy night. And I could not get away from that fever. I think I damaged like my, maybe not damaged, but I got too loopy and misunderstood the proper dosage for Advil, and my fever was so bad. I think I took too many Advil, guys, and my I think it's my appendix. Something started to hurt inside my body. I was like, an organ was hurting because I think because the fever. I couldn't keep the fever down. I mean, it was crazy. It was horrible. It was freaking horrible. Wait, forget which fighter it is. There's one that's an avid chess player. Oh, Mark Hunchy's 2000 bullet. Really? Really? I didn't know that, Toasty Cheese It. I love you guys. Have a great night tonight.